Now we have a very, very special guest here to be sitting on the blurb sofa. Yes, it's the man who brought Duke Nukem back from the brink, Mr. Randy Pitchford. Yes! Hello, sir.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm all right. How are you?
Doing great. It's great to be here in London.
Oh, fantastic. Well, so we've got so many questions to ask you.
Okay.
I hope you're
hopefully
prepared.
I'll have answers.
Okay. So, first of all, we have to ask, why have you been waiting so long for Duke? Why is it taking so long? Randy?
Why is it taking so long? Well, you know, Duke's like a fine wine. No, it's... you know, here's the thing. These guys, the team behind it was so committed to this goal of basically making the best game they've ever made that that commitment carried them through all the challenges that they faced, and they never gave up.
Have you kind of updated him? Is he kind of a more like 2011 Duke, or is he kind of just the same guy? Would you say?
Duke is this interesting character. He's, on one level, he's gloriously one-dimensional, right? He doesn't change much, but in some ways he's kind of like James Bond, where he how old is Duke? Well, he's at however old he needs to be for whatever the time and place is that he makes an appearance, right? Yeah. So he does change a bit, but his character, his essence is consistent, and that's what's important about this guy's personality.
Awesome. So I know a lot of people are very excited about what kind of weapons we can expect. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're going to get our hands on?
Yeah, you know, Duke's always it's always been an interesting variety. You know, we're certainly going to have some of those familiar experiences with things like the shrink, the shrink ray, which
was always so much fun.
It's great. You know, there's nothing both online and in the campaign. Yeah, it's great to shrink down a little pig cop and step on him, but there's nothing more humiliating than being stepped on in a multiplayer game. So that always works out. I always like the weapons that allow for kind of strategic gameplay. You know, it's always fun to lay a trap full of pipe bombs and kind of hide around the corner, and then when they run by, you just blow them up, and they don't even know what did it. You know, it's fun to kind of play a game of wits, not just a game of reaction time skill.
Yeah. So what new enemies and stuff can we expect? Anything exciting and new?
Well, the aliens have come back. You know, it's been 12 years since Duke saved the world, so he's super famous. Everybody in his universe loves him, and he's become very successful. He's leveraged his fame to become very wealthy, and he's done a lot in the time since he saved the world. Everything's worked out right except for one thing, and they were supposed to make a video game about how he saved the world, and it's taken him 12 years to get it done. So even in his universe,
wow, you're breaking down the fourth wall
exactly,
there,
just completely wrecking it. And it's in that moment where he's finally playing his own game that the aliens come back, and they're back with a vengeance, and they throw everything they've got at him. So in addition to some familiar creatures like octobrains and the fact that the aliens can mutate the male of the human species and turn us all into pigs. So we've got all the pig cops, and presumably there's pig lawyers and other kinds of, but aside from that, there's all kinds of new creatures, horrible things, disgusting things, violent things, and Duke must rise again, become the hero, and once again save the world.
Amazing, I'm sold. Just sold on that. So we've got some fan questions for you. Is that okay?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, James says, is the gameplay kept simple like the old Duke, or has it kind of moved on into kind of styles of like COD and Halo?
It remembers its roots as a shooter, and it has to be authentic in that regard, but it definitely pushes things forward. One of my favorite moments is near the beginning of the game. If we remember the original game, a lot of the puzzles revolved around, okay, that's the red door, where's the red key? Door key puzzles. At the beginning of the game, there's the door, you're trying to open it, and a computer voice says, access denied, blue key card required, and Duke says, key card? I don't need no key card. And he kind of just tears down those old memes, because our games have matured a lot. It's a modern game, it's a game built for today. It remembers its history and pays homage to it, but it is a game for today's gamers.
Amazing, that sounds exciting. Nick wants to know a little bit about the multiplayer. What's happening with that?
It's one of the most chaotic, intense multiplayer experiences that I've played in a long time. When I join online multiplayer games now, I can't succeed unless I'm one of these guys that plays 10 hours a day, and I've been building up my stats and my character to be able to compete. Duke's the kind of game where you can just jump on, play for a couple hours and have a great time, and find ways to be successful, especially if you're clever.
Andy says, do you think that Duke is still relevant today as a character?
Somehow Duke has become iconic. He's become this kind of meme. he's become important to game culture. I don't know, maybe he's kind of like our Chuck Norris or something, but he's somehow become important to the game industry, and it's not because of all the great games that have come out, because there hasn't been any, right? So something else is magical there. There's so many stories there, and it's so interesting. So clearly he's relevant.
So I have one final very quick question for you, which is, you were talking about magic there. Yeah. You used to be a magician, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
And Neil wanted to know, what was your favourite trick, and can you do any tricks?
Oh, well, I can. Yeah, I love close-up magic. I liked using just simple props, like just an ordinary deck of playing cards, some coins.
Oh, we should have brought some.
Does anybody have any playing cards?
Anyone got any coins? Power of TV.
Okay, let's see here.
Right.
Let's see if I can do anything with this. Okay, cool. I can kind of roll it across. And I think I'm better in my left hand.
But how long does it take to practice
I'm better in my right.
things?
No, I'm just kidding, it's my left.
Look at that. And how long does that take to get good at it?
You know, it's not that long. Do you want to try?
No, because it's...
I'm just kidding, it's right good.
So you're going to be sticking around for a bit of a challenge later on, I hear?
I'm happy to. If you've got a game, I'll play it.
Amazing. Wow, it's the first one who's actually willing. All right, so a big round of applause for Randy. We're going to be seeing some more from him later.